Assalamualaikum. I'm Nuna Sabadi Zakri. My metric number 270867. First of all, in introduction, I will explain about what is urbanization and industrialization. Urbanization refers to the population shift from rural to urban areas. The gradual increase in the proportion of people living in urban areas and the ways in which a society adapts to the change. Industrialization is the period of social and economic change that transform human groups from an agrarian society into an industrial society. This involves an extensive reorganization of an economy for the purpose of manufacturing. And also, I will explain a little bit about Petaling Jaya. Petaling Jaya is an extremely large and sprawling city within the state of Selangor. It is unique to Peninsular Malaysia, being one of the two cities within the state of Selangor, only declared as a city on 20 June 2006. Apart from that, Petaling Jaya also a satellite city of the Federal Territory Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and is located in the Petaling district of Selangor. Petaling Jaya has an area of approximately 97.2 square kilometer, arguably the state of Selangor's largest town. On 20 June 2006, Petaling Jaya was granted city status. The city council consists of populated appointed operatives of the federal government, whereas originally the municipality was composed of directly elected representatives. Next is the present state of the Petaling Jaya. Petaling Jaya was first developed by the British as an answer to the problem of overpopulation in Kuala Lumpur in 1952 and has since witnessed a dramatic growth in terms of population size and geographical importance. The development of Petaling Jaya centered around the areas currently known as Old Town today. The first road built in Petaling Jaya was simply called Jalan 1 or Road 1 and is now called Jalan Templar, a name after the then British High Commissioner to Malaya, Lieutenant General Sir Gerard Templar. Until the end of 1954, the town was administered by the Kuala Lumpur District Officer and the Petaling Jaya Town Authority. On 1 January 1977, the Petaling Jaya Town Authority was upgraded to become Petaling Jaya Municipal Council or Majlis Perbandaran Petaling Jaya (MPPJ). Petaling Jaya progressed rapidly due to the massive rural-urban migration. As more people from rural areas immigrated, Sungai Way and Suban district along with new areas such as Suban Jaya, Section 52, a new town or colloquially known as State, the name of the first former cinema in the area, developed in areas under the jurisdiction of the municipality. Eventually, in a boundary realignment exercise in early 1997, part of Petaling Jaya such as Suban Jaya, Sunway, Puchong, and USJ were placed under the jurisdiction of the newly formed Suban Jaya Municipal Council or MPSJ. Fondly known as Petaling Jaya among the locals, is also act as one of the central hub of Klang Valley, comprising of Kuala Lumpur, Petaling Jaya, Shah Alam, Suban Jaya, and surrounding areas for industry. Next, Petaling Jaya also is geographically the heart of Klang Valley, a buffer zone between Kuala Lumpur at east and Klang at west, and Rawan at north and Putrajaya at south. The terrain is mostly a lowland with a partial hilly stretches at mostly meander then climbs steadily. Combined with KL, the population numbers over 1.5 million people with a mostly Malays, Chinese, and Indians. Next, about transportation facilities and infrastructure. Transportation facilities and infrastructure are well developed in Petaling Jaya. The introduction of the Putra LRT service in 1998 saw the addition of the Putra Line feeder bus services. The combination of Putra Line and Putra LRT brought a relief to many Petaling Jaya residents, especially those who had to rely on public transportation. Today, public transportation is provided by Rapid KL in the form of buses as well as the KL Light Rail Transit System, Kelana Jaya Line, which extends slightly into Petaling Jaya. There are 5 Kelana Jaya Line stations in Petaling Jaya. That's all from me. Thank you.
Nadia binti Zakaria with a metric number 270684. Okay, now I will continue from the previous presenter in the part of positive impact of urbanization and industrialization in Petaling Jaya. In Malaysia, the National Development Policy is a step to try making Malaysia a development country in many ways, not only in economy but also in terms of social, politics and living standard. Petaling Jaya now has protecting its all aspects. Petaling Jaya is growing into a rapidly development city as a focal point and investment industry, education and housing. Okay, the first one of positive effect on urbanization and industrialization in Petaling Jaya is business and industry. Industry policy is a policy which the country intensive the process of industrialization to increase the country export and the country economy. In terms of this strategic position, Petaling Jaya between Kuala Lumpur and Port Klang will be able to open many investment opportunities within the outside and country. The encouraging response from investor has paved the way for the establishment of the free trade zone in the surrounding area. This situation has opened up many job opportunities to the community in Petaling Jaya. Petaling Jaya also now has a wide selection of large and leading shops to shopping complex. Second is infrastructure facility. Infrastructure is the fundamental infrastructure and utilities that community or organization use to work effectively, such as a transport and power supply. Petaling Jaya has an excellent road link with Kuala Lumpur and it's easily accessible from various directions. For example, the main road in Petaling Jaya is the Federal Highway, which is passes through Petaling Jaya town and then to Shah Alam, Kelang and Port Klang. Meanwhile, in terms of transport infrastructure, there is an increase in demand for this part due to the process of urbanization to live daily life surrounding by process. This to make people more easily move from one place to another place. In Petaling Jaya, the transportation structure provided in three. It is train, taxi, and bus. Third, education. There are many schools, public institutions of higher learning and private colleges established as a result of area urbanization of Petaling Jaya. This because to meet the demand of people who migrate or take new experience in this area. This has indirectly moved the country impact of education to further develop the potential of individual as a whole and integrate to create a balanced and harmonious humans being in term intellectual, spiritual, emotional, physical for the development of the community. Now, Petaling Jaya has more than 23 public and private institutions of higher learning developed in Petaling Jaya. Fourth, improving living standard. Economic activity carried out in the Petaling Jaya area can improve the living standard of the people. Indicator of this standard of living, the community can be seen in the term of total family income, cost of living, housing, and others. The community can further expand the scope of life in terms of employment, education, health, and others. For example, when community have a good education, they can graduate and easily get a better jobs and get a more salary or expensive salary. And the last one in health level. Okay, health is the condition where the body free from any disease. In others words, it is in a healthy state. Which the urbanization process in the area, community help people are more secure with the investment of acquiring health and institution and hospital. Society will introduce to modern technology and medical method in treat disease more effective has been expanded. Community can improve the healthy level when in the some of institution or health. It is in University Malaya Medical Center, Sunway Medical, and others. Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good evening to our lecturer Dr. Suzy and my fellow friends. My name is Muhammad Kais Esa bin Ali, and today I am going to be sharing to you guys about how we want to identify and analyze three negative impact and issue that related with the Petaling Jaya development problems. As a starter pack, after knowing this, our group has described a little about the development features that have taken place in Petaling Jaya. Hence, I would like to explain a little bit about the development that has taken place. The acceleration of the development that has taken place in Petaling Jaya has been classified as a successful development in terms of development structure as well as economic sustainability structure. Then, when there is an economic downturn until it has succeeded in attracting the rural population to settle in Petaling Jaya, there are some problems and negative impact on the urban care structure in the Petaling Jaya area. Later, Petaling Jaya was also classified as a Selangor economic zone. This is because of Petaling Jaya has met the importance of characteristic to be equipped as a city with the metro city concept. Later, according to the Malaysia Economic Planning Unit, Petaling Jaya also has contributed significantly to the economic density of Selangor through community income tax, housing tax, and ancillary facility of tax. This is because of Petaling Jaya has managed to attract residents from rural areas to occupy a residence that located in Petaling Jaya because the area is rich in employment of job opportunities. Not to be outdone, Petaling Jaya has also been a successfully that has classified as a city with a stable transportation sustainability that was so as to be able to earn the side income of the community. For my first point is, I am going to be describing about the dumping of housing development. In this issue, those are the areas that has been classified as an example of the problem of the dumping of abandoned houses such as in Port Klang and Pembentangan, Selangor. According to the Regional City Council, there are more than 500,000 units of a development media planning process shows that the result of a buyer are fear to own an expensive of a housing unit. Thus, it can be also concluded that the houses prices are also rising. For example, rapid development under the housing development can actually result in high price increases based on the initial demand of those buyers. In the meantime, the payment process of houses will not be evaluated in the first stage. This is because of what? This is because of every developer can only to increase the prices of the houses based on high demand in the market. Next reason, the main problem now, after the arrangement for a house is done, only the buyer can find out that the overall prices for a unit of houses are expensive. Therefore, eventually what happened? The issue of the dumping abandoned houses continues to increase every year. Hence with that, there was also a fight between the government and also the developer. Lastly, the issue of buying a house was not only occurs between the operator and the buyer, but it can also involve a third wheeler, that is what we call as the tenant. Of course, if the issue of buying a house is delayed, then the operator will also shift the initiative to the searchment for the tenants, and the prices will be also always increase. For my second point is, I am going to be describing about the dumping of foreigners as a labor workers. Did you guys know, since the introduction of the government to bring the foreigners into Malaysia, the country is rapidly developing, especially areas in the federal territory. These foreigners are consisting with a poorly skilled and semi-skilled. Among them, that sector has been possessed by this foreigner are mostly in services sector and construction sector. However, in 2015, the presence of foreigners to Malaysia was not so worrying because the arrival of foreigners did not directly reach at 10%. But you have to know, the presence of this excessive foreigner is a serious concern for the local community. Not to be mentioned, the illegal entry of foreigners, this is because of what they are able to do anything to take an action out of control because their information is not successfully obtained at the first place on the entry level. While foreign workers are often to find place among these existing employees, this is because of, among them, is that they are able to ease the burden of an employee to find employees for an aspect of the development. This is because, of course, and employees do not care about the status of a person, whether their arrival is valid or not. In this meantime, an employees can also save on the production cost. Did you guys know, from theoretical point of view, according to the neuroclassic theory, input are contribution positively to the output. Thus, these are already increased in the recruitment of foreign workers members, and it contributes more to the number of employment and increases the country's output. Lastly, every economic activity required to a high demand, and it is constantly increasing. For my third point is, I am going to be describing about the increases number in a criminal case. Did you know, criminal conduct is an immoral social activity. Usually, these criminal activities are done by those who do not have a good income base. However, according to a report from Board of Director Parties such as the International Criminal Policies Organization, Interpol, the United Nations, the Institute of Economic and Peace, IEP, the Malaysian Crime Prevention Foundation, YPJM, and lastly, the Royal Malaysian Police, PDRM. The Malaysian countries right now, crime rate is still low compared to the other countries. However, roughly speaking, it needs to be seen in terms of rapid development in a region. This is because of what? Criminals are increasingly using financial technology, fintech platform, and cash instead of bank transaction to avoid detection. The MAAC recently busted an online gambling and markup scam syndicate and arrested dozens of suspects, including a few police officers, and this is happened nearly at Petaling Jaya. Did you guys know that the crime index ratio per 16 million population in Selangor has improved to 256.6 in 2019 compared with 273.5 in 2018. Thus, there are 7 spots of a hot avenue recorded that the crime index ratio below the national level in 2019. For such as in Port Kelang, there were only 214, Gombak 207, Petaling Jaya 195, Sabak Bernam 195.7, Kajang 188, followed by Titi Wangsa 150 and Sungai Buloh 143. Hence, the statistics are based on administrative record that has been obtained from a various agency and the compilation, and it's based on the concept and guideline of the International Classification of Crime for Statistical Purposes version 1.0 manual published by United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime Department UNODC. But just a little you know, rape activities and causing injury crimes has increased to the 5.5% and 2.9% respectively in 2019 compared with the previous year, while the percentage of the robbery and murder decreased by 5.3% and 4.0% respectively in the same period. Lastly, it is well known that the criminal incidents so far have often been synonymous with the cases of snatching, robbery and theft. This is because of what? It shows that these criminal social activities are done on the basis of their belief in calm through criminal activities that maybe can help their survivor. For my last point, I'm going to be talking about environmental pollution. Environmental pollution is often happen with a critical issue among environmental activities. This is because of what? It is because of with the rapid development in the city, it is certainly possible to influence the increasing factors in the use of non-environmentally friendly vehicle. For example, in the Bandar Baru Bangi area and also Kajang area, the uses of non-environmentally friendly vehicle rates are increasing every year due to the rapid population growth. This is because of what? This is because of it can be concluded that the impact of the population dumping is also one of the huge contributor factor in the occurrence of an environmental pollution. However, many experts say that the air quality in Malaysia for the current circumstances has worsened due to the urbanization and the seasonality in the country. But in this point, I just wanted to relate of the current issue that happened in Malaysia with the pandemic of the COVID-19 disease. In 2020, Malaysia Movement Control Order MCO was implemented with the aim to isolate the source of the COVID-19 outbreak. As a result, there was fewer number of motor vehicles on the road and the operation of industries was suspended, and reducing emission of hazardous of air pollution in the atmosphere was decreased year by year. Therefore, we also had acquired the Air Pollutant Index API data from the Department of Environment Malaysia in hourly basis before the during the MCO with the aim to track the changes of fine particulate matter at 68 of air quality monitoring station. In Selangor, the air quality is managed by the Department of Environment under the Ministry of Environment and Water and the Ministry of Selangor.
Dr. Nosuhailni and my dear friends, in this section I will like to provide suggestion effective alternative to solve the issues and problems. Before this, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Rangila Anna Pampan Balachandran, metric number 269689. First and foremost, nowadays we can see that the development of urbanizations and industrializations in Petaling Jaya brings negative impact the majority to the environment. Petaling Jaya is one of the areas with very unhealthy air quality due to the air pollution index IPU reading. Therefore, the burning of fossil fuels from factories can be overcome by choosing non-toxic materials to manufacture goods. The Environmental Protection Agency advised that supplier recognize and substitute chromium arsenic and lead containing raw materials and chemical with non-hazardous biocides alternative. Doing so retains the attractive bacteria eliminating qualities of these materials without the danger present by heavy metals to health and air quality. Another material to search for and remove from the supply chain is styrene. When fiberglass and plastic are being processed or sprayed in place, atomized styrene may reach the air. Note that also, the government also need to tighten the law on the processing of goods in factories so that they do not use goods that have a high risk or poisons in the production of such. The governments can also fine in cash or imprisonment to the authorities of factories operators against a factory that violates the rules set by the governments. Furthermore, water pollution also one of the impact throughout urbanizations and industrializations in Petaling Jaya. Therefore, biological wastewater treatment improvement again. Nutrients to a supervisor's version is one of the best effective solution to overcome water pollution in Petaling Jaya. It also is said by Yara expert that biological wastewater treatment can improve by find proper nutrient selection and dosage benefits. It is because Petaling Jaya is one of the states which surrounded by industry. Basically, industrial wastewater also includes significant quantities of organic matter BOD and COD. This can be avoided by method of biological wastewater treatment, assuming that along with other factors affecting the biological of the process, there is adequate quantity and the correct form of nutrients available. Moreover, the process optimizations benefits of nutrient dosage in biological wastewater treatment system is first by increased quality of treatment due to a higher biomass activity and better isolation of sludge. Secondly, due to decreased filamentous bacteria formations, increased flocculations and higher sludge concentrations, sludge dewatering is simpler and safer and stable activity and simplified management of process. Last but not least, overlapping management redundant is also impact throughout urbanizations and industrializations in Petaling Jaya. This is can overcome by investigate all alternative. The last choice shall always be redundancy by considering moving workers from full-time or part-time jobs, reducing or freezing pay or benefits, allowing employees to take annual leave on an accurate basis. It can be expensive to cut workers, so never offer that desired short-term income. That's all for me. Thank you.